Hi guys, it's Renee here from Nala Bella Teaching. So today I wanted to talk to you about 5 tips to have a successful observation by your principal. So the first tip is when the students come in, no matter what subject it is, always make sure you have the same routine and they know what they're going to do to begin. So for example, in math, when my students come in, they know they need to turn in their homework to their homework hotspot, and then they need to go straight to their seat and start their warm-up. I always have my warm-up posted on the board with a timer for 5 minutes. So I know how much time I have until I'm going to start teaching, and they know how much time they have to do the warm-up. During that 5 minutes, I mark in homework and I talk to kids about any questions or needs. After 5 minutes, we go over the homework. We do that routine every single day. That helps with your classroom management, it makes your class organized, and it makes planning so much easier. Tip number 2, the mini lesson. Your mini lesson for every subject should have I do, we do, and you do. Those 3 things. There, now you can see my fingers. So if you have those 3 pieces, you're good. But you also need to keep it to 15 minutes or less because it's a mini lesson. It's not a big old long lesson. Trust me, I've gotten nicked on that one thing over and over and over again. Gone are the days where your lesson can go on and on for the whole hour. Those days are gone. Principals want to see you get to the point and get the kids going with what they're doing. They like to see kids doing. And they like to see you meeting with groups. So if you spend way too long on your mini lesson, then you're not going to have time for groups. So here's my formula. For my I do, I literally do it. If we're learning division, I do a long division problem. But I talk about my thinking while I'm doing it. So the students can hear me and they get that thinking modeled. That's my I do. Then the we do, I give them a problem and then they work with their shoulder partner and they try to come up with an answer. Now, I use video for the I do and the we do in math only. And I do that for a couple different reasons. My biggest reason is by the time I teach math at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I've literally forgotten what the lesson is about or what we're doing. And I wind up reading from the teacher's guide. That is a no-no. You do not want to do that. So if I make a video, then I can have my teacher's guide open and make sure I'm doing everything and saying everything that I want to say. And that's another little trick to keeping my mini lesson to being mini and not mini. Okay, so my I do is the first part of my video and I try to keep that short. The we do is the next part and I actually pause the video while they work with their partner. Then I become my own teacher's aide, which is kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm teaching on the video and then while they're we doing with their partner, I'm walking around. Now, has your principal asked you about data? That is my 3rd tip. When I'm walking around, I just grab a clipboard and I mark off who's got it and who doesn't. And that's my mini group for later, the kids who don't get it. Then I go back to the video after they've had time to work with their partner. And I hit play and they check their work with me. And then me, the teacher's aide, I go find those kids who didn't understand and I just kneel down next to them and I look for those mistakes and I try to correct them before they become a habit. You want to stop the kids from making a mistake before they even know they're making it. So that's my biggest tip, and that's the one thing my principal loves is that real-time data. I'm not using their homework from last night. I'm not using an exit slip. I'm doing it in the moment so that it matches today's learning target, and those are the kids I'm pulling because they don't understand today's lesson, and they need help with today's lesson, not yesterday's, not the day before. You got to do it in the moment. So anyway, The videos I make are no longer than 5 minutes, and with me pausing it and talking and the kids working, the mini lesson takes 15 minutes, and it works great. So after that 15 minutes, the students are on the carpet, they've got their marker boards, they've practiced, they've watched me do it, they got it. I give them their assignment, usually a workbook page in math. So they go back to their seats to start working independently. So this is tip number 4. Pull your groups. Then I pull a small group. I call them the meet group because we meet every day. And that's based on my clipboard and my data that I got earlier. And when I pull them, I just repeat an I do and a we do. And I do it with them over and over with different numbers until they can do it on their own. And if it takes the rest of the period, so be it. Sometimes they just need it one more time. They got it. I send them off to work. Then, if there's time, I pull a catch-up group. Catch-up group, those are the kids that maybe they weren't on your clipboard, but you know they're going to have some problems. They're just the bubbly kids. I pull them back. I check their work that they've already started. And then we might do a problem together. If they're good to go, I send them off. If they're totally stuck and they're staring at me like, I don't get it, I do another I do and a we do. And then I send them off. Tip number 5, exit slip. Yes, you should still do exit slips. Collect them for data. It's going to help guide your instruction the next day. It's going to tell you if your whole class got it, if you need to repeat that lesson, if you need to teach it in a different way, if maybe you need to pull some kids during catch-up group time or something. So your exit slip time should be about 5 minutes. Keep it simple. My book that I follow always has writing prompts, and those take them forever. And usually all I get out of it is the kids can't write. Well, guess what? We're doing math. So I need to do an exit slip with the math, and then I know who's got it and who doesn't. Personally, I like to use Seesaw, but I happen to have a class of kids who have one-to-one devices. Not everybody has that. So just use a note card. Put a problem up on the board. Don't reinvent the wheel. I pick the even-numbered problems from their homework that they're gonna have. I pick one. I put that one problem up there. That's the one I collect. Then I assign the odd numbers for homework so that they don't do the exit slip problem. So that way I'm not having to reinvent the wheel. I'm not sitting there on my computer for hours looking for the perfect exit ticket. I just grab an even numbered problem. My students are trained every single day. There's an exit slip. They do the exit slip. When they're done, if it's on a note card, they come back to the carpet, they give me the note card, and they sit down. And then when everybody's done or 5 minutes is up, we review the learning target and assign homework. And that's the end of our lesson. If you just remember those 5 tips, you can use them with any subject, guys, any subject. You will have awesome teacher observations. Thank you.